Introducing the Fiber, brought to you by LiveOak Fiber. This open forum is meant to inspire, empower, and set the record straight for consumers and better broadband enthusiasts alike.
Thank you for tuning into the Fiber. I'm your host, Kimber McCafferty, and today we're joined by Ted Corcoran, who is President CEO for Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Kimber, do you think this could be, out of your entire career, your favorite interview?
Absolutely.
I hope it is.
It is.
If it's not your favorite interview ever, just for the one for today.
Ted, this is a preparation meets opportunity situation, and I am so grateful for your goodness and coming in and sitting with us today.
We love LiveOak Fiber here in Okaloosa County, Northwest Florida, so I could not have waited more time to come here. It's fantastic.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you for the acknowledgement. That's one of the things that we wanted to do as a company, was really serve outlying communities that are kind of in that struggle of not having a superior internet solution. And the founders and owners really did kind of handpick where they wanted to be. So we're having fun over here in Okaloosa.
I remember meeting them when they first came into town. They said there's a dearth of this. We need to come in. And boy, everyone knows about LiveOak Fiber now. Everybody, because of your efforts.
Thank you. Talk to me a little bit about what you do.
Well, the Chamber of Commerce, the Chamber of Commerce is a member-based organization, a chamber of commerce. It's a business of money. Kimber, as you know, they've been around for 500 years. There are chambers of commerces in every town in the world, everywhere around the world. People listening now, that's what a chamber of commerce is. It's an organization who predominantly was governed to promote business. But now, not only do you have businesses joining chambers, you have nonprofits, you have schools, you have the military, you have the individuals, you have churches. It's the one organization in a community that is comprised of all aspects of the community. And LiveOak Fiber is one of our outstanding chamber members.
Not all chambers do as great a job as Mr. Corcoran does here, though, of really bringing the hype of what a chamber can mean for a community and its outreach. So when we highlight your chamber specifically, Fort Walton Beach, what makes you different, and what kind of advocacy are you for members of this community?
Well, what's interesting, Kimber, thank you for asking that. Our job is to kind of drive the train, but on the back of the train are all the members. So you have people from Live Oak like Stephen Smith, or Katie Robeson, or Travis, or Garrett O'Leary. And these are folks who are joining the chamber, and they said, hey, we want to promote our business, but I wouldn't mind doing it if it was in a fun way. You're going to find here in Northwest Florida that people come to this area because of the weather, because of the schools, because of everything that's wonderful about it. But people like yourself and the others here at LiveOak Fiber have moved here or have taken a job here because it's just fun. Right? So they want to have fun, but they have to work at the same time. So if we can combine the two and promote business and fun and the community, and oh, by the way, I don't have to wear a suit and tie to work and I can do fun networking events, sign me up for that. And as a result, we have 2,000 people who are active members of the chamber that kind of buy into that equation.
Okay.
And it's fun.
So what does 2024 hold for Okaloosa County and Fort Walton Beach?
Well, the county, for those who have never been here before in Northwest Florida, certainly, and then Panhandle, of course, it is an area that is governed currently by two types of business. That is tourism, with our beautiful beaches right in our backyard in the Gulf of Mexico, and the military, which we should hear a plane flying over your office in just a second. So you have those two things. Both of those are incredibly strong. People love going to the beach. People love our military. And the third wheel, or the third leg of the stool, depending on how you want to look at it, is we're getting more bigger companies in here, like LiveOak Fiber, and we're getting more technical companies in here who are servicing the tourism industry, et cetera. So the forecast for wonderfulness is still strong because the markets that are here, tourism, military, and now tech and other cool things like LiveOak Fiber, are doing wonderfully well. So we're excited.
You started in hotel administration, and you've been in this role for how long?
Almost 20 years. Can you believe it, Kimber, that they've kept me around that long?
What keeps you around? What is it that keeps you around? That's a long time.
It is a long time, and it is really fun because, first of all, it's a great place to live. You and I were chatting about you got to live somewhere, so Okaloosa County is a great place to raise family. The schools are great. The weather's great. The outdoor events are good. The beaches are good. The nearness to other areas. I can drive to St. Augustine in a day. I can drive to Birmingham. I can drive to New Orleans. It's just kind of centrally located in that area. So you have that geographic component, but you also have a pulse of community that people say, hey, what can we do to make the world a better place?
Mm-hmm.
And the Chamber is a conduit for that, because the Chamber of Commerce is arguably going to be the largest member-based organization in any community.
Okay.
Wherever you go,
Mm-hmm.
what's the organization that's going to have the most amount of people? It should be the Chamber, and ours, we're one of the largest ones here in Okaloosa County. So when people like Kimber or Garrett or Steve Smith come in and say, hey, I think we need to do this in our community, let's rally the troops. We're able to rally the troops, get them together, and make a difference. And the politicians, the elected officials love it, because the business community should be the pulse of a community.
Sure. What are some of the challenges facing this area right now?
I think probably the biggest challenge is, compared to other areas, is that we are a little behind in our infrastructure. People will come here and they'll say, the road, we got one road, and you've driven it. It's called Highway 98.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not as bad as the roads maybe outside of Atlanta. If anyone's ever driven to Atlanta, it's like crazy. But we have one road, and we have an area that perhaps did not keep up with the people coming here, right? So in 1990, it's interesting. In 1990, when I moved here, there were businesses that shut down after Labor Day. There were that few people coming. McDonald's would shut down, restaurants would shut down. Well, since 1990, the business has escalated in such a way that it is just 12 months now. It's interesting, Kimber, we had a chance to chat with this. In 1990, Northwest Florida was not a top 50 destination in the United States. Now it's a top 50 destination in the world. And that's what's happened in 20 years here in our area. And as a result, roads haven't kept up, and you're going to see a lot of bridges. We're repairing bridges. We're doing this, that, and the other thing that just kind of caught up on us in the last 20 years.
And even the solution that we're bringing to market is,
Absolutely.
and the pandemic was, not to harp on that, but it really did highlight the need when online schooling became an issue,
Right.
telehealth became an issue, and people didn't have access to really what they needed.
Yeah, I remember when Stephen Smith came in, I met him for the first time, and they said, hey, you guys need this. And we've done our work. I've studied what is needed in that community. I'm seeing the growth, and there is just a wide open book of need for what you folks are doing. And it's obviously proven based on the business that you have created in the last couple of months and year here with LiveOak Fiber.
Do you feel the influx of more people moving to this area post-pandemic looking for lifestyle change? Because like you've noted, it is fun to live here.
It is. It's very fun. Actually, it's interesting because the south part of the county is kind of overbuilt. We're not overbuilt. We're built out.
Okay.
Right? We have the water to the south of us, so you can't build there. You have an Air Force base to kind of surrounds us, so there's not a lot of space. So where you're seeing the growth is in the north part of the county, a place called Crestview, and north part of Okaloosa County, north part of Walton County. So they are seeing it dramatically when people are coming in there and able to buy a house for much less than the south part of the county. So as a result, in the north part of the county, they've got to make new roads, they've got to do all that kind of stuff to keep up.
How closely do you work with military?
Oh, we're very close. I mean, the military, this is a red, white, and blue flag waving community, as you've seen. And so we work with them on what do we need to do to help your mission. And one of the missions that you're hearing now is both Eglin Air Force Base, the largest military installation in the world, and Hurlburt Field, which is home of AFSOC, the Special Operations Command for Air Force. Those are all the people that do all the crazy war stuff. Hurlburt does. And they are growing also because their mission is growing. So as a result, they need more lodging, they need more houses, et cetera. So they've got to reach out in the community and say, how can we collaborate to welcome our new airmen and new Army people who are in the 7 Special Forces, et cetera. So they very much understand how important it is for the military and the business community to get along hand in hand. And we do. We love them. They're wonderful.
Do you work with the Visitor and Conventions Bureau to talk about tourism and enhancing attractions, if you will?
Yeah,
okay, so I didn't know how hand in hand that was for you.
It's a small in the result of Okaloosa County. There's only 200,000 people in Okaloosa County.
Okay.
200,000 in the entire county.
Yeah.
Which is probably a suburb of Atlanta, let's say, for example, right? So as a result, everyone knows everybody. So the tourism department works with the chambers of commerce. There's 4 chambers here. There's us, Fort Walton, there's Niceville, Destin, and Crestview, all phenomenally great organizations. We have an economic development council. You talked to Nathan Sparks a couple of weeks ago. From One Okaloosa EDC. So everyone kind of collaborates and say, okay, what do we need to do for the betterment of such? So yeah, everyone's on the same page. They are, to your original question, Kimber, we're just behind. We're just behind. We're doing roads and bridges where the surrounding areas here are adding big businesses because they did the roads and bridges 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when we should have.
Listen, the beauty about living here is nobody really minds that we're behind because it's so pretty to live here.
It is.
That's how you kind of are able to catch this up.
Yep.
When do you think this progressive approach to modernization, if you will kind of catch up? I know I've also had Bobby Wagner in here.
Oh yeah, the mayor.
And he's got a lot of stuff in the works for downtown and like walking paths and making it kind of a smart area.
Yep.
When do you think the people that live in this community will be able to feel some of these
efforts? It's happening right now.
Okay.
You look at Bobby as an example. He's under 30.
I know.
And he's the mayor of Destin, one of the top vacation destinations in all the United States, right? So you're starting to have more younger people involved. You're having the roads worked on. You're having the bridges worked on. You're having everything happening. You're having LiveOak came in to start offering the services. So you're right in the middle of the transition.
We are.
Right in the middle. So in 3 years, when LiveOak has encountered all the ground that they're going to do, and when the bridge is done, and when this road is done, and this road is done, we're 3 or 4 years from transformational changes here in all of Okaloosa County.
Which will also attract more tourism and more families for military or anybody really. When you think about the population increase and the influx of growth in these areas.
Absolutely.
I know at one point, because I live in St. Augustine, as you had brought up earlier, and I've talked about it on the show, 1,000 people were moving to Jacksonville a day, outpacing the state of Florida, and we're kind of in that same alignment. Do you still see the influx of growth like that?
Yeah, not to that dramatic.
No, I mean, I know it's gone down some, but are we still seeing this as a destination location?
Absolutely. The challenge here is the housing market has gone crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you could buy a good 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house for 2-bath house for under $200,000. And now you're twice that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have an industry where you have folks coming in, working in the restaurants or working in the hotels that are making $15 an hour that cannot afford a $400,000 house.
Mm-hmm.
So they're challenged. So they're either going to live way up north in the north part of the county and drive down here, or they're going to say, it's not ready for me to come yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we have. So it is wonderful. It's a fabulous place to live. It's a fabulous place to visit. Everything we're talking about is kind of behind the scenes.
Sure.
So we don't want anyone listening, any of our tourists or other people thinking about moving here to say, oh my gosh, this is behind the scenes stuff. What's behind the curtain?
Yeah. Well, it's
Wizard.
honest. It's transparent.
Yeah.
I think, and two, there's, again, I think people have shifted and it is this lifestyle. So even if we're taking them behind the curtain, it's not going to dissuade them from how great it is to have the quality of life that these beach towns offer. It's idyllic.
It is idyllic. It's really idyllic. Or idyllic or idyllic? I say idyllic because I'm from New Jersey. You're from Illinois. You say idyllic, or are they same?
Idyllic is how I say it.
Is it the same word?
Yeah, IDYLL.
Yeah. Okay, we just pronounce it differently.
Same potato. I'll still be your friend, Ted. You don't need to worry about it.
I appreciate that.
Don't hate me for it.
But it's a great place. The weather is really nice. We get cold a little bit, but it's a great place to do stuff outside.
Okay.
Right? It's just a great place to do outside. Just walk around or ride a bike or whatever you do. It's not the kind of place that you want to be inside. Whereas if you're maybe in a big city, you may not want to be outside all the time. There's not places, but here there's parks. And it's wonderful. Come on down and see us, whoever's listening. And while you're here, sign up with LiveOak Fiber.
I'm just going to go there because I know you won't mind. How do you think what we're bringing to the community and market here is going to make a difference?
Well, it is. There's several other chamber members who are doing the same product. So it's always challenging when you're in the chamber to compare one restaurant over another.
Absolutely.
I think the enthusiasm, and if anything that LiveOak has brought in here is the awareness of the capabilities of having faster internet, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand what fiber is, including myself. They just don't understand it, but they know in this day and age, I want it to be faster and better. And I think when they hear LiveOak, they see that really fun commercial on TV. Did you have anything to do with that?
everything to do with
I
that.
want to hear about that because I need
Okay.
the details.
Yes.
But I think that's what they've done is they've been kind of a tutorial that, oh, I see, there's a new company coming to town, and they'll go to the website, they'll see the ads, it'll spark interest, and they'll say, okay, now I'm learning a little bit about that process.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the ad. Now, I don't see TV a lot. What was I mean, it's a really unique angle.
Which one?
This is the one where the two guys are like in the woods camping,
Mm-hmm.
and they're talking about fiber.
Yeah, we call that LiveOak Country.
LiveOak Country.
Yes. We did three commercials
All right.
in 2 days, Garrett, or 3 days.
3 days.
We
Gary
shot a
O'Leary
commercial
over there.
day, and so I just needed to know which one you were.
Yeah, so I don't
referencing.
watch a lot of TV, so I just saw that,
Yeah.
and it was so interesting because it's memorable from a standpoint of very unique,
Mhm.
obviously, right? So in that case, of course, Kimber, as you well know, because you're the branding expert, the goal is for that person watching that to remember the name.
LiveOak Fiber.
LiveOak Fiber.
LiveOak Fiber.
So
LiveOak Fiber.
that has really, really helped in the branding of it. It's been very well done.
Oh, I'm so glad to know that you feel that way. Thank you. Just through my history, as we kind of talked about before we went into the
Yep.
show, that radio and TV's kind of been my trade. So I've been in a lot of commercials myself, and just been able to work in the industry with one of the guys I grew up in Jacksonville owns a studio there, and he works with the creative arm.
Nice.
So together, the synergy of flying in actors and actresses and putting together scripting and leaving a lasting memory in the minds of consumers was really the goal. And we wanted something different, but we also wanted something relatable.
Yep.
So the country, the live oaks, and things of that nature that people could really resonate into it being localized.
Yeah, and you
So-
accomplished it. There's a lot of commercials on TV or on the radio that are kind of lame, and you don't remember it, but that was very unique. So I congratulate you for that. And again, going back to what we said about what has LiveOak done to this community in this area, it's brought awareness to the capabilities of what you can have now in the new century of fast service, et cetera.
Putting the purchasing power back in the hands of the consumer to have choices. There's nothing.
Look at you.
There's
Well
never a
done.
bad thing about that, right?
Well done. There's your sound bite right there, Garrett Leary. Cut that one out and have her put that on there. But that's it's wonderful.
Okay. Well, I think we're good, Ted. Anything else you want to say, Push? Is there anything you need the community to know about your chamber this year, other than LiveOak Fiber's coming to Fort Walton Beach?
Well, yeah. I mean, LiveOak Fiber's in the county, in the community, and what they're doing, when they first came into town, they said they wanted to make a difference. They wanted to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of folks will say that because that is part of their mission. It just depends on how much of their mission it is. So you have people like Katie and Steve and Travis and some of the other people who come to our events. Point is, they put their money where their mouth is, so to speak, and they've done some sponsorships of lots of things. They have participated in a lot of the military things. We've honored the military, et cetera. And I could not be more proud than our chair of the board, who is from another also outstanding organization called Step One Automotive, and her name is Maureen Bierman. She is the volunteer chair of the year. She realized that LiveOak Fiber has come into town and blown doors, as they say. And as a result of that, just the other day, LiveOak Fiber was selected as the corporate business of the year of the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce. And that joins a slew of, through the years, of incredibly big-time organizations in our community who have made a difference. And LiveOak got that after being in town, in theory, for only about a year or so. And so it was very, very well deserved, and we're excited to see what they're going to continue to do for their involvement and offering services, et cetera, to our community.
Thank you. We're honored, by the way. I do know about the award. We're very, very honored. And looking forward to our alignment and our relationship moving forward.
I'll just recommend anyone that has a business or is interested in happening with your community, join your local area Chamber of Commerce and find out more about how you can be involved in your community.
Thank you for tuning in. To learn more about LiveOak Fiber, visit liveoakfiber.com and feel the flow.